Okay, this is part 3 of How Not to Date the Illuminati. I just wanted to bring up some really valid points that you need to really think about. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of a story. Illuminati is really slick. They know about every woman that's beautiful that's ever existed in the world. They track you from the day you're born. Okay. They set up situations to meet you, for you to come to their concerts, hang out with them, so that they can slip Mickeys in your drink and sex you. They know you're going to deny them, but they'll find a way to get in your panties. That's how slick they are. They've developed all kinds of technology to mind control and brainwash women into giving them sex. One particular story that I'm going to just tell you really quickly is when I was younger, I used to have a real crush on LL.Cool, and I really wanted to meet him. So I decided I was going to become a rapper so that I could become famous and meet him and we could get married and all that. Well, I developed a group called Sophisticated MCs, and I was a member. I had several different names, but they called me Sassy C. And my partner's name in the group was Rachel. We called her Raquel Rock. And our DJ was Eugenius, who's the DJ for Criminal Nation. I don't know if you know him. But anyways, so I decided in order to be the best artist, I had to study the best. So when Run DMC, Houdini, Bobby Brown, and LL.Cool came into town to perform a concert, I decided I was going to go. And, I lost a lot of weight. I did a lot of sit-ups. I got a six-pack, and I was looking really good. I remember I had on a black mini skirt with a nice black shirt, and a pink jean jacket, half jean jacket, and I had these little half boots on, and I was really looking good. And then I was with a couple of my girlfriends, Gina and Rachel, and we partied, and they saw us, and they invited us to the after party. We went, and as we were going in, I saw the DJ for Houdini with his girlfriend, and she had on a fur coat, and they were leaving, and then the fire truck was outside because I guess LL.Cool had pulled the fire alarm, and he supposedly got kicked out. So I was very disappointed because the whole reason why I went there was to meet him. And so we got invited up to Run DMC's room, and D offered me a drink right off Bacardi and Coke, and now that I look back on it, I was thinking that he probably slipped me a Mickey, because everything after that was a little bit foggy. And then I just remember Garfield talking to me, and then me saying, like, who are you? Because I was like, why am I stuck with this guy? He's not even one of the top rappers, and I want to be with LL. So I was a little irritated, and I kind of had an attitude with him. And I didn't even know he was Russell Simmons. But even if I did know, it really wouldn't matter because I really wanted to meet LL. And so I guess there was a roach climbing out the bag, and I saw it, and I freaked out. And they were like, what's wrong with her? Like, she never saw a roach. But, up here we don't see them a lot. So, especially in the Hilton. So I was like, yeah, I must have crawled out their bag. And then Bobby and Jam Master Jay were liking my girlfriends. Bobby Brown liked my friend Gina, and Jam Master Jay liked my friend Rachel. So they went to their rooms, and I was walking with them. And I remember when we got in the elevator, Bobby Brown was just so much fun, and he was just making us laugh. And then he mooned us when he was running down the hall and everything. I mean, he was just I know it sounds weird, and you're like, yeah, you're laughing at a dude mooning you, but it was just hilarious, I guess. And he's like one of the only guys that ever mooned me in my life. and especially such a close-up one. And so we went into the Bobby Brown's hotel, and then my girlfriend, my other one, went into Jam Master Jay's room. And so they were talking, and I guess that's when I kind of started chatting with Bobby and learning about the music industry a lot. And he was talking about it, not very fondly. And then I remember he was reading Word Up magazine or something, and he had these 2 chains, or these big old Run DMC chains around his neck, and then he let my girlfriend wear it, and she was so happy. And then it was like my cue to leave. I was like, oh, I'm gonna let them be alone so they can, have a little romance or whatever. So I left, and then I went to knock on Jam Master Jay's room to see if my other girl was ready to go or what was going on. And she was busy with Jam Master Jay. And then I was like, well, I'm going to go sit in the car. So I went, sat in the car, and waited for them, and was disappointed that I didn't get to meet LL.Cool J. And, looking back on it, I was thinking, that these guys, how they met us and duped us and stuff, and who knows what they put in our drinks and stuff. But you got to be really careful about these celebrities and stuff, because they're not all what they claim to be. Just like Run DMC, he claims Run's supposed to be a pastor, but yet you don't hear him making any videos preaching. And so you really got to be careful, like, are these people members of secret societies? And then after that, Jam Master Jay got murdered, supposedly in a studio, or, on camera with a bunch of people, witnesses around. So I don't really know what happened and everything, because I really liked Jam Master Jay. He was cool, and I think I would credit to him and Bobby Brown for kind of getting me away from Run and them and Garfield, because he could sense that I had attitude, and I was kind of irritated, and I was mad because I just want to meet LL, and that these guys are very powerful, and that they get mad when girls diss them and stuff. And so they kind of helped me out and let me get out of the room, and brought me to their room, or Bobby brought me to his. And I guess that's, to this day, why I think he probably had a lot of issues with the industry, because of that night. And I'm not saying that's just everything, but I'm saying that it seemed like they weren't like cool. Maybe they were enemies on tour, or maybe they just fight over women, or I don't know what's going on. But I'm just saying that there was like some beef. And I didn't feel like Jam Master Jay was like part of the clique. And then, when I found out that he got murdered, I thought back to that night and how he kind of, excluded himself from them and stuff, and how maybe they didn't like it, and how he took us away and, led us out of the room and got us out of there. And I think that might have not been good. So I'm just, giving you that story because that's something that I went through, and I can personally witness to God and to people about what happened and stuff. And, because I was a rapper and stuff, and I, could have been hooked up with Def Jam, but we just didn't click. We didn't hit it off and stuff, and I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like the lifestyle of the rappers and what was going on. I didn't feel that was what God wanted for me. And then I knew he had other plans and something real much bigger, that I would, try to win souls for him. And so, anyways, that's my little story about meeting Run DMC. And then, and then when I met Houdini, they were just leaving. Because the one DJ, I guess he had already left with his girlfriend when I had seen him down in the lobby. But when on my way up to Run DMC's room, I saw Houdini, and they were just getting on the elevator. I gotta hurry up and tell you the story. But they said, "Oh, you're so beautiful." They were saying how beautiful we were, and then they said, "God must have sent you straight from heaven." They have one of the best lines I've ever heard. So that's my little story. Information you need, all one word with you.